Thank you for watching Divine Encounters. I am your hostess, Dominique Rivera, the Oracle of Apollo, and today is Wednesday night. You guys already know what that means, so we're going to jump in, jump out, and encounter more with a supernatural story time. Stay tuned.
It's paradise inside of our hearts, and it feels so nice to pray in the dark. Beings of light, see who you are. 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 See who you are.
Welcome to Divine Encounters Season 4, Encounter More. I'm your hostess, Dominique Rivera, the Oracle of Apollo, Reiki Master Teacher, Integrated Energy Therapy Master, Instructor, Trance Medium, and of course, Divine Encounters show host. So excited to be here on this beautiful Wednesday night in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And today is just like every Wednesday where we bring you another supernatural, inspirational story. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing because I am live streaming every single Wednesday and Sunday night for 104 episodes every year. Season 4. And mind you, every Sunday night we bring you all of your horoscopes. And we're going to be doing some new things in the near future. Shout out to Mandala Springs for that beautiful song introduction there with Roblin Fedsi and the Mandala Tribe. And of course, if you need an energy coach, you want to get a reading or a talisman tattoo, please check me out at oracleofapollo.com. And of course, I'm always being able to be booked for private and public events. Shout out to everybody at home. Make sure you guys are being a blessing for everybody out there. Sharing this feed not only helps us and the algorithm, of course, but also brings a blessing into someone else's world. And when we want to see blessings in our own world, we must be the blessing for others. Make sure you guys are hitting those hearts. We're going to be going ahead and bringing our guests for today. A young, fine man here that I met in Mandala Springs during a retreat called Vibes. And during this retreat, we kind of just threw down some bars and got some musical on, and it was pretty epic, if I had to say the least. I mean, I'm no rapper, but those bars were on point. No, I'm just shameless plug. Shameless plug. I'm making music right now. It's gonna be releasing soon. Shh. All right. So bring us some hearts, bring some shells. Let's go ahead and bring on all guests for the evening. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thank you so much, Dominique.
I see you're in the magic van. Tell us about this van. Because I remember you were talking about it before we when we first met.
Of course. So this is the Winged Lion. She is one of the closest things that I've ever seen to a spaceship. And she is a luxury camper van. She's got, as you can see, a fireplace. She's got an Apple TV that shows where we are flying over. She's got a hyperdrive up top. And she's currently parked at a beautiful space station in Florida called Roots to Crown. Shout out to this amazing event venue in St. Petersburg.
I like that you had that little cubby behind you, the imperial hat holder.
Yeah, it's got a float above my head, right? That's part of the magic.
I love it. My crown is in here, but it's high. It's tucked away in the curls right now. So, how is Florida now? It is raining here. It is dark here. How's Florida been treating you? I know you just did this wonderful workshop. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and this workshop that you just hosted? Because this is some really good information, you guys. He's doing some amazing things, and I'm actually so proud of him and so enthusiastic to have you and be able to share your medicine with other people.
Yeah, absolutely. So Florida is absolutely amazing. It's a sunny place, which is very nice, right? I fortunately am able to do my work online first, and from there I do my work in person. So that's an amazing way to have location independence. It's something that I highly recommend people tap into. And so, yeah, you asked about the masterclass that I did. So my work is around, first and foremost, the leaders of purpose. So this is how I can support people like maybe some of you all out there who are purpose-driven leaders who are doing work that makes the world a better place by supporting people in a way that's also regenerative for the environment, in a way that has a vision towards a greater world. And I focus on people who are doing specifically work around service and around group service, who are wanting to step into that. So people who are maybe doing some forms of coaching or some forms of healing, and they want to step into being able to offer a group program where they take people through a life-changing journey. And the reason that I find that to be so fundamental is the bigger work that this goes into is called the world of unity. And this is the way that we can start to actually be able to come together, to be able to come together with all of the different solution sets that we need to create a better world in a way where we are literally, as we're doing our work, we're bringing people onto this team so that way we're able to have what we need to be able to go out and make our bigger dreams possible together.
Oh, this is like a beautiful spider web crescendo that we all get to put our hands on and help weave together. That's great, George. I really love this. I really love this. I'm so excited for everything that you're doing, and like I'm mad excited that you're here right now, like for real, for real. I like to start off every episode, George, with what we call what's good, is basically like the collective message of what is going on right now. And yeah, so we're going to do that today. It's the number for the day. And so I hope you guys at home are ready to receive a message. And George, you're just going to let us know how you're feeling about this particular message today. Today's number brought to you by today's number is number 280. So if that resonates with anybody at home, let me know. But to that, I'll say, what's good? All righty, we have the number. I keep looking at the wrong camera. We have the number 280. So I'm going to tell you guys, we're using this, the numerology formula for this. I'm going to tell you what each number means individually, and then I'll tell you what the collective message is. Okay. And this is for anyone at home listening. It doesn't matter what year it is. If you hear this and it resonates with you, truth has no expiration date. So, number 280 is a blend of the attributes of the number 2 and the energies of the number 8 and the influences of the number 0. So, number 2 carries the vibrations of duality and balance, as above, so below, partnerships and relationships, diplomacy and adaptability, sensitivity and selflessness. And number 2 also resonates with faith and trust and serving your divine life's purpose and soul mission. Number 8 resonates with manifesting positive abundance, personal power and authority, a desire for peace and a love of humanity, giving and receiving the universal spiritual law of cause and effect. You guys might affectionately know this as karma. The number 0 represents potential and choice, a spiritual journey, developing aspects, listening to your intuition and your higher self. Okay, because that's pretty imperative. Eternity and infinity, oneness and wholeness, continuing cycles and flow, and the beginning point, 0. This is the fool's journey. Number 0 also relates to the God force, universal energy source, and magnifies the influences of the numbers that it appears with, which is 2 and 8. So angel numbers 280 is a message that your financial and material needs are being met. And you're now in a position where you are manifesting a steady supply of positive abundance. You have worked steadily towards achieving long term goals and aspirations and have used your personal integrity and wisdom to their utmost potential. So, if you have been considering beginning or expanding a spiritual practice, profession, coaching, career, or heart based service, angel number 280 indicates that now is the most auspicious time and you will find long term success, achievement, and personal fulfillment. Angel number 280 is a message to appreciate, be grateful for your blessings as they manifest in your life. And remember, the more you have to give. The angels want to help you reach the best possible outcome. And that is the purpose of their message and guidance. With what you just introduced to us, George, I'm kind of feeling like this is a vibe to what you just said. So how are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the absolute perfect angel number for this specific show. And, I think that really this is for people who are tapped into this frequency of spirituality and of following our life's purpose. Right now, this is the trend, right? This is what's trending for what that next part of spiritual evolution as an entire community, really, but on an individual basis as well, which is that choice to step fully into our financial abundance. So, as you said, we can be in service, because actually our financial abundance, and especially the amount that we're receiving for the purpose-driven work that we care about most, that is a reflection of the impact that we have. And as we're able to grow financially as a community, that's when the world is really going to start paying attention and to start seeing, regeneration, right? Taking care of ourselves, making sure to leave space for the feminine. These are very important points. And so I hope that this show gets to be a powerful invitation for many people to step into that.
I love that. I love that perspective. And thank you for sharing this morning. So this particular Wednesday, I actually did a double show. This morning, I was on Bathrobe Moments with Ask the Experts with Lauren Michaels Harris. And today's show this morning was about abundance and an abundance mindset. Transform that same thought. So we're talking about the same meaning twice today. But last night I had this beautiful dream and it was very interesting. And I'm going to share it with you because it relates to what you're just saying. And this angel number 280. My dream last night, I was in the bathroom and I was sitting on the toilet. In front of me, in my physical bathroom in my home, there's a pedestal sink. But in my dream, the pedestal sink wasn't there. What was in its place were plants inside of pots all around the ground of my bathroom. So I'm kind of like looking around and I say out loud, why are all these plants in the bathroom? And I heard a voice come in and it said, to show you that you are capable of planting anything, anywhere, and it will grow. And so I wanted to share that message with everybody here at home, is that you're also capable of planting anything, anywhere, and it will grow as long as you nurture it, right? So I just felt like this is such a beautiful tie-in to the messages that I'm receiving today. It makes me elated. I feel grateful in this moment that it's overflowing inside of me, and it makes me want to cry right now. I just feel like really tapped into that. So thank you for your thoughts and for sharing that beautiful message from the angels with me today. George, we're going to jump into another vibrational raising experience, and we call this the mindfulness moment. But first, we have to do a vibe check. So the vibe check for you, George, and for everybody at home is, where are you at energetically right now in this moment from 1 to 10? 1 being this is the least amount of energy I can have. 10, this is the most amount of energy I can have. Take a moment, check in, put it in the comment section below. And if you're watching this on the replay, y'all already know I'm Spanish. I want to know what you're thinking. #replay. Okay, so where are you at right now in this moment, 1 to 10? This is for you, George.
I would say I'm at about an 8.5 right now.
That's good. That's very good. Okay, I see you. Is there a feeling word that comes with that 8.5?
I would say grounded.
Okay. I'm like at a 9.6 right now, and I want to say I feel my feeling word is overjoyed. There's like a cataclysmic shift that has occurred within me in these last 72 hours that wasn't there before. And I've had a really tough few last months. And I feel a huge shift right now. So I feel very, very good about that. If you guys are watching at home on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead, pop that in the comment section below. We're going to jump into our mindfulness moment. And George, if this is your first time watching, or you guys at home, and you want to participate within this moment with us, all you have to do is close your eyes at the sound of the bell. And we're going to go ahead and breathe for 60 seconds together. So let's do it. All right, 60 seconds on that clock. Our eyes are closed. Big breath in, and let's just breathe into the theme of today, which is abundance. And that right, our divine right to be abundant, our divine right to be in thriving energy, our divine right to have more than enough, and just letting go with the exhale any scarcity mindset, any limitations, any self imposed restrictions or blocks, limited beliefs, old programming, and anything that you feel that is no longer in service to who you are becoming. Just breathe that out. 20 more seconds on the clock, breathing another breath in here. Bringing our space, our inner space into a space of gratitude and just thanking ourselves for allowing this moment to happen. For taking this moment to breathe and to tap in and just acknowledge who we are. Beautiful. Gently opening our eyes now, coming back into the here and now. And just noticing where you are at energetically in this moment now from 1 to 10, 10 being the most amount of energy I could possibly have, 1 being the least amount of energy I could possibly have, and a feeling word. And if you at home felt anything shift or anything outstanding, and by outstanding, I mean, where did your focus go? Did you feel hot, cold, temperature changes, tingling, pressure, pain? Did you need to adjust? Did you feel resistance? Did memories come in? What rose up for you in that moment? And how are you feeling now? So, George, what is your number now? And did anything rise up for you?
Yeah, so now that we've been through that experience, I'd say I'm up there where you were at the 9.6. And I felt this beautiful tingling sensation around my hips as the power just really settled in there. And so now I feel just elated, right? Just ready to go, ready for the next steps, and so looking forward. It's amazing what just a few mindful moments can do.
And this is why we do this on the show, is to teach us that in 60 seconds, we can shift our mood, our mindset, our energy, just like that. For me, and I just want to say something before we move into me. Thank you for sharing. So as an integrated energy therapy master instructor, I work with the cellular memory of the body. The hips represent finances. So the fact that you are opening energy in your hips, you're bringing more abundance energy into your physical body. I think that's amazing. It's like the crescendo of the echoing of the same theme. And mind you guys, for you guys at home, if you don't already know, I never hear these stories before we jump in because I like to hear them for the first time, just like you all are hearing them for the first time. So for myself, I feel like I'm at a 10, but I also feel like it went from a external hard drive into my internal hard drive, the knowing that I am abundant. So it has become imprinted within me. And I know that's an unusual statement because how does one say what that feels like other than knowing? what that feels like in the moment. I have no other words to describe it other than I know what it is. As things are moving in my room by themselves. I don't know if anybody heard that, but okay. So we're going to be jumping into supernatural story time here today, guys. And I had a clip I wanted to show you all that I did not load, but I'll tell you what it was, George. So I have this bottle here. I'm going to show it to you, though. Okay, I'm not going to show it to you. Yes, I am. It's behind me. Hold on. It's behind me. I want to show you. Okay, hold on. Okay. I have this bottle here, and this bottle is actually Florida water. Do you know what Florida water is?
Of course.
Okay, and for those of you at home who don't know what Florida water is, it's like I'm going to describe it as a special cleansing elixir that is used to be placed on the body or in environments to refresh, energize, and uplift the energy in that space. Now, this is a spray bottle. So in order for the fluid to come out of this spray bottle, one would have to depress the trigger on the front of the bottle. As I was talking to a friend today, shout out to Sean Jones and SeanJonesCoaching.com, shameless plug. This bottle squirted Florida water while the bottle was sitting maybe like 5 feet away from me, and then started continuously dripping Florida water out as we were having the discussion of abundance. This has been, I took a video of it. I was going to load it up because I was telling my friend on the phone, I was like, I can't believe what's happening right now. This is cleansing because I didn't realize how much cleansing it needed. And it's doing it all on its own. The same way something just fell in my room right now. I think it was just a reminder to segue into the Florida water on its own. But there's these little signals, right, that happen all around us. And if we're not paying attention, we'll miss them. So I hope you guys are paying attention because now we're going to jump into this supernatural story time with George. And I know he's ready. I can feel he's ready. He was actually born ready. So make sure you guys are giving up some hearts and some love. And we're going to jump into this very, very quick commercial from our sponsor, Warrior Goddess. And we're going to come right back with George's story. Thank you for being here with me. Your host is Dominique Rivera, the Oracle of Apollo. We are here today with George, and he's going to tell us all about his supernatural story time. So we're going to bring him right back on. Shout out to our sponsor. And if you want to partner with us here at Divine Encounters, email us at divineencounters@e360tv, and we will share your information, your medicine, and what you have to give to offer to the world with not just our audience, but all of Trajectory TV and E360 TV network. All right, let's bring George back on. Sir, I'm going to just let you start from wherever you feel like it's the most natural place of this story, which usually begins with once upon a time or in the beginning.
Absolutely. Well, so as I was contemplating which of these stories to tell, because they really have been so many, I was just thinking back to long ago and all of the different moments. You know, there was the moment when I was in a Vipassana on a 10-day silent meditation, and 2 days in, without having any prior practice, without having any prior intention when I unlocked the ability to freestyle rap on the spot, to be able to drop bars like we are going from the stars, like we can just reclaim every single thing that is ours. Or I thought back to the time when I was first grounding this van and it was just, very unclear if it was going to happen. And it was there, it wasn't there, it was there, it wasn't there. And then right when the universe decided to give it to me, it also just happened to give me a week-long free stay on a 100-foot luxury yacht that I got to have right before I moved into here. But the one that I really wanted to tell, right? Because there's abundance of all kinds. There's abundance like the one that comes from freestyling, where we get to create this magical situation and we get to have all of the creation of our imagination coming through, right? There's the abundance of just these happen chance moments where we get to stay in these very abundant places or have these very abundant experiences. And then there's the abundance that comes that really gets to be our full ownership of ourselves. And so this was a moment once upon a time, and it was when I had been on my entrepreneurial journey full time for about 2 years. And I always knew that, okay, I am here to bring together leaders. That way we can work together to create the best world we can imagine. And, I was on about my 4th attempt of it. And it was during COVID where I'd had an in-person venture and everything had fallen apart because of it. I was doing co-working, co-living spaces in Bali. And I was trying to do some stuff online, right? Trying to figure it out. Also wanted to have the location independence and all of that. And it just wasn't working. And it was about 4 to 6 months into this new way of doing it. And I was literally at my parents' house at this time. I was
Why
at my
did you
mom's
feel
house.
like it wasn't working? I feel like some people would, well, if it's not working, then that means it's not for me. So what do you think that was for you?
Yeah, that's such a good question. Well, that's the thing is whenever there's anything happening in our lives, it's always a combination of all of it, right? It's a combination of all the different steps. It's a combination of our mindset. It's a combination of our audience. It's a combination of our offer. It's a combination of the way we do the enrollment process. It's a combination of the
Mm.
way that we make ourselves visible, of the way that we're delivering, because it's all this interconnected web of what we are offering. But I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know that at the time of the level that I needed to. And so where I was is I was just, like maybe some of you all are right now, I was just like browsing through content, like wherever I could, right? On Instagram, on Facebook. And I found this person who was a business coach. And I had seen this business coach before, and they were featured on a platform such as this one that I, really resonated with. And I was like, you know what? I just need to have a conversation with this person. And so I got in the conversation with the person. I booked the call and we got on, and I was just telling him about, where I was at, what I had done, what I was doing. And, when I finished, he started telling me this story. And he started telling me about this story about how he has worked with a lot of people who had been in my situation, who had very similar skill sets to me, who had gone through journeys of healing, who had gone through journeys of personal development, of self-discovery, of going from depression and anxiety to being a lot more happy, to having a bigger purpose I felt like I could fulfill. And he told me that it was actually very common for him to empower people like this, not only to be able to create successful businesses like this, but to actually achieve higher than $10,000 months at doing this.
Wow.
And I was like, no way. I was like, there's no way. And he was like, oh no, for sure, man. It's very common. And I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds so interesting. Like, I really want to do this. And he was like, amazing. So this program is $10,000. And I was like, oh my gosh, I do not have $10,000. And he was like, well, if you enroll on this program right now on this call, it's $6,000. And I was like, I don't have $6,000. So I was like, just like looking at it, I was like, man, I have like $4,000 in my bank account, like to my name. And he was like, well, I will give you 24 hours to get it together. And I was like, can I have a week to get together? And he was like, I'll give you 48 hours to get together. And I was like,
To
oh
get
my
$2,000 in
God.
48 hours?
Yeah, $2,000 in 48 hours. And so I just like dropped into it. I was like, oh my gosh,
You still have
what
both
can
your
I do?
kidneys.
What can I do? And so I scheduled a call with, at the time, my two best friends who I was also collaborating with on some projects. And I told them about the program. I told them what was happening. And I let them know that, hey, I think that we can do this. And I can also, you know, share the content with you all, right? We can have this be something where we rise together. And one of them was like, you know what, man? I believe in you. I'm going to lend you $3,000 so that you can do this program and have some extra money. And so I was like, whoa. And so I took that money, I invested in the program, I dove in. On the first call, I heard someone who was talking about, who this person was, a sexuality coach, right? Teaching Tantra. She talked about making $86,000 on a single webinar. I was just like, what is happening? And I just completely dived in. So for the next like 2 weeks, literally 8 hours a day, watching this person's content, diving in, learning every single thing that I could from them, started applying everything. And then within just over a month, I believe, I'd signed my first high-end client, which was a major breakthrough for me because I'd been doing like, you know, like $100 sessions or $20 workshops, or, you know, like
Sure.
maybe a $500 course that I put together for people. But signing my first client at $2,000 at that time, which enabled me to create this entire program for him, right? You know, my work is, again, it's around purpose. Right now it's around business, but around being able to step into that purpose and wherever people are at in that journey, right? I focus on different points based on where I'm at. And, you know, I was able to create this whole experience for him. And I was able to, with the next people, I started enrolling people consistently into this. And,
Wait,
you
wait,
know,
wait.
with the
Hold on.
people,
Where did this
yeah,
first person come from?
yeah, it's a great question. So the first person that I enrolled into this came from my own network. It was someone that I'd been in a training with, that I started working with. And it was just for that first person, it was showing up in this really powerful way. Right. And so for
Mm.
other people, right, there's a whole like spectrum, which I can maybe get into now, or if not, you can definitely DM me later and I'm happy to unpack some more of this for you. But there's a whole spectrum of what I call visibility. So it's not even marketing. We don't have to market. We just have to be visible. We just have to be ourselves, be in the space that we're passionate about, be in a space of leadership, and be visible while we do it. And so there's this first person. And then after that, over the next 4 months, it was consistent. And so at this point, 4 months later, at this point, I had moved to Bali because that was something that I really wanted to do. I had visited before and I was like, okay, I've got to move to Bali. And so I had moved to Bali, and I took a vacation over New Year's. And that was when I had just signed an additional 2 clients, which had brought me to $12,000 over a 4-month period for the first time. And so that's like the most divine, right? Because here I was sitting on this beach in Bali, and it was like, wow, I'm actually free, right? That
Wow.
was the moment of freedom. And since then, you know, I've made more investments. I've gotten to the repeated over $10,000 month points at certain points in my journey. And, you know, just having that freedom in a way where we are doing purpose-driven work that comes from us. And this is why, you know, to me, this work where we are serving others, and especially serving others in a group setting, but we can also start one-on-one, right? I started one-on-one, right? Being able to serve from who we are, right? Much like you do, Dominique, with your oracle readings and everything. It's like, this enables us to give our full soul medicine, right? It's like the human medicine of the deepest work that we can do, and doing so in a way where we are bringing together as much value as possible in the way that we're doing it. So that is the story I wanted to tell, because I feel like it shows people that, these bold decisions in these moments when we didn't expect it. I didn't expect this to happen when I was sitting on that couch, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm at my mom's house. Like, I have no direction. Like, what is happening, to being able to achieve that just 4 months later? And it happened from that divine encounter.
Wow, that is amazing. And I feel like anyone would have been matched with this 48-hour deadline, would have been, maybe some people, I wouldn't say anyone, maybe someone would have been like, oh, that's an impossible feat. This guy just gave me 48 hours only. I asked him for a week. A week is plentiful time for me to reach out into the deepest part of the cookie jar and see what I can scrounge up. But the person, it sounds like, that you asked first was a person that invested in you.
It's true. Yeah. I didn't even have to reach out to more people. It's just, and this is the thing, right? It's the fundamental connections. And this is really what makes the world of unity and the leaders of purpose very special, is I actually, and it's a very bold thing to believe in, because it makes the work a lot more challenging, but also a lot more rewarding, is I really believe in this family level way of doing things, right? Where my closest collaborators, where even the people that I work with, even the people that I serve, right, I really bring them into that family level space. And so the people that I asked, it was just my closest family at the time, right? My closest collaborators. And these are the people who show up for us. And this is how we can create family level deals. And I really believe that when we are all truly acting as family to each other, right, and we still have, our inner family and our extended families, but when we're able to have that close level of intimacy with each other globally, I really think that is the answer to world peace, to universal abundance. And it's available to all of us. And I would bet it's more available to you now than you realize. If you really look at who those close people are, and you really see past, anything that might be in the way of that, we really are here to support each other from that deep place of love and purpose.
So do you feel that this was granted to you as a divine right because you were purpose driven, because something inside of you knew, I'm not just going to let this go to the wayside. I'm going to apply all the things that I'm going to learn and then be able to be of service in this way. Do you think that true abundance can only come from a place of service, or like those lottery winners who have millions of dollars suddenly and then suddenly they're broke? What do you think about that?
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing that we get to look at too, right? Is there are the different levels of abundance. So we spoke to this before, right? There's the creativity with the freestyling. There's the, attracting just amazing situations to stay in. And then there's the actual financial abundance. And they all play in with each other. They all play off of each other, because the thing is, abundance that comes from being purpose driven, from following a purpose driven path, is going to grant us a lot more than abundance that does not, right? Because I learned from people all over the internet, right? And there's people who are making $1 million a month, and you look at the places they're staying in and you're like, you're staying in just like a regular apartment. Like, it has a nicer view maybe, but it's like, it isn't like extremely magical, right? Or, on the other side, right, you look at what I've put together, and I've got this amazing luxury camper van, right? And it comes from the balance, though. It comes from the conversation, because if you look at people who, are not investing in themselves or not creating businesses, right, there's many other vans here in this area that I'm in, and right, they aren't the same level of van. And it's like,
Right.
it's not just about that. It's also about who we get to become, right? It's about the leadership that we are able to step into when we invest in ourselves, about the leadership that we get to step into when we start providing that level of service. Because that's the thing, it's not just about charging like higher rates. It's about actually stepping into how can we provide even greater service with what we are doing. And
How can we be a better service? How can those people who don't know how to be service driven, how can they be service driven? And not fall into, I will retract that statement, step into, because purposefully, not accidentally, into this energy, into this lifestyle? What is there, like a core fundamental thing that has to shift? Is it a mental thing? Is it an energy thing? What is it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to unpack that a bit. And yeah, I just want to say also that these sorts of upgrades, right, what we're tapping into now, it's like these are the subtle shifts that have created the most, quantum results in my members' lives at times. And so, really what it is it's like the identity that you hold yourself in, right? The way that you see yourself, you are amazing. Like, you are amazing. Like, just seeing every single way that you are such an amazing human. And seeing that the person that you serve, they are amazing. Like, they have done so much work on themselves. They have done so much work to get to the point where they are ready to work with you. Where they are choosing to step into, where they are choosing to invest in themselves at that level, at that life-changing level, right? The life-changing value that you can provide, they are ready for that. And that your offer is amazing, right? And especially, when we start to work together and we start to make your offer, right, so amazing, that's one of the most important parts, right? When we make the offer as amazing as possible, when we make our work as amazing as possible, all of the marketing, all the other parts become easy because it's just such a valuable thing, right? But seeing, right, your offer is amazing. Like, your offer is literally one of the best things out there. It
So it
provides
is
so
seeing the
much
divine in
value.
me. It feels like you're saying seeing the divine within myself, seeing the divine within all living beings, and then that exchange is equanimous.
Exactly. So you, the other person, the offer, and then also the process, right? Being able to see the process as divine. And this is one of the most important things I work with people on, is helping them realize that business is sacred. That actually
Mm.
learning this art of business, it's like this whole other side to the equation, right? It's like, you get like the universe codes from like ayahuasca or from plant medicine or from meditation or from yoga or from whatever it is there, and you understand this high level reality. But then you get the reality codes, right? Like, what is going to create things, what's going to make things happen, right? And that's what business is, like the fundamental energetics of business, and being able to not just repeat different marketing strategies that are working at one time, but be able to understand the fundamental nature of how energy moves in this way. It's such a pleasure. And when we tap into that, it creates that high level of very practical abundance in our lives.
That's beautiful. George, thank you. It has been such a delight to have you and hear you speak on the things that you're so passionate about and dive deep into this. Give yourself a little plug here, just in case if you guys at home feel connected to work with George in any way, let them know where they can get a hold of you, friend.
Absolutely. So just with the level of resonance of this container, right, I would really recommend that you all actually just DM me on Instagram, right? If you want to learn a little bit more about my work first, you're welcome to go to that website that just appeared, theworldofunity.org/leader masterclass, right? That's, the work that I do. There's also a link to more of the offerings that I have at the bottom. You can go in there, but really the best thing is just go to my Instagram and send me a direct message. And from there, we'll be able to have a conversation, right? I would love to hear about where you're at, right? Where your dreams are at, what you are choosing to step into right now. I'd also love to hear what your challenges are, right? The ways that, you are maybe having a bit of trouble moving through everything. So that way we can know how to address them. And what we can do from there is, if it sounds like you're a good fit, we can schedule what's called an elevation session. And so this is an opportunity for you to really break through to the next level and to get to that next point where you're able to see this next level of your identity, right? Because that's really what it comes down to, the way that you see yourself and the way you know what you can step into. And from there, we'll create this strategy, right? So again, every single part of creating a soul-led business that's going to fully fulfill you and do so while creating a better world at the same time. That's everything from your mindset to your audience, to your offer, to your enrollment process, to your visibility, to your leadership, to your stewardship of that offering. So that way it can be the most incredible thing that, you know, the people that you work with have experienced, and so that you can really get into that state of abundance, whether that's, you know, being able to charge for the first time if you aren't charging right now at all, or being able to go from, you know, making a few $100s in the work that you do to a few $1,000s per month in the work that you do, or whether it's getting from a few $1,000s in the work that you're doing to over that 5-figure a month point. This is something that I've helped many people do, and it can happen very quickly. People have gone from $300 a month to $3,000 a month within just a couple of months of working with me. People have gone from not coaching at all to $1,000 a month when working with me. People have gone from $3,000 a month to a $15,000 a month when working with me. So it can happen very fast. Instagram, George Lantay, Lantay. Send me a DM, and that way it can just be very personal and we can dive into your specific case. And just the way it was with me all those years ago, it could be very similar to you, and this could be a life-changing conversation for you.
There we go. Thank you so much for that offering and letting everybody know where they can get a hold of you, George. It has been fantastic. You're not going away just yet. I'm going to pop you in the green room. Thank you for being here. And we're going to be jumping into the midweek collective energy check-in to see what the energy forecast is for the rest of the week. If this theme has been abundance, I would not be surprised if Oprah came up in these cards today, because that's just, you know what? I'm going to call this episode the Oprah episode, because that's what because that's how I feel today, y'all. I don't know what else to say about that. Let's see what these Oprah cards got to say, because I have a good feeling about it. All right. As I'm flipping these cards, I am not surprised. Not one bit. All right, we're going to be jumping right in here into this very first butterfly card. And this card is talking about get some rest, you guys. Okay. The wheels cannot be lubricated if they are rusting, if they are congested, if they are clogged. If your mind is clogged, if your body is clogged, your vision is clogged. All right, so make sure that you're getting some rest here, letting yourself recharge and starting from a fresh slate. All right, just like those 48 hours that George had, maybe you need 48 hours to bring some kind of value back into yourself here. All right, let's see what our next card is. Our next card. Everyone has value. Were we not just talking about sacred reciprocity here and making sure that you're witnessing the divine within yourself and the divine within others? Because when we see this, then we can come from a place of true authenticity. And this is how we build and create abundance. We have to see the value first. Universe will give you pennies. And if you don't know how to invest those pennies wisely, why would you get hundreds or thousands of dollars? If you cannot take care of a potted plant in your house, why would you have a farm? Do you guys understand that? You have to do with what you have and nurture the seeds that you currently have in order for anything to expand. All right, let's see what our next card is happening here. Hold your vision is the next card here. Fixed moon, hold your vision. It's important to recognize what that dream is. And when you're met with challenges or a 48-hour deadline in which you have to suddenly and magically come up with several $1,000s, you have to recognize within yourself, this is possible for me. And I'll use myself an example, being disabled for 10 years, not being able to walk or feed myself or stand for more than 10 minutes. And against doctors' wishes or odds or whatever you want to call it, I knew that I would be standing here today and doing what I'm doing for you all in this moment. So sometimes you can't just stare at those mountains because those mountains are blocking whatever's behind them. You can't just stare at the now thinking that you know what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day or 5 years from now, because this is just a blip. This is just a moment. And if you allow what you're seeing with your own eyes to tell you this is all there is, you're missing the point. Okay? Because there's something beyond that, beyond your limited beliefs, beyond your limited understanding, and beyond the limited scope that you currently have in this moment. So dream big, open your heart, bring that mind and that heart into the same space and act and see and speak from a determined, empowered heart space. Let's see what we have for our next card here. From the ancestor deck, we have, they are echoing. They are so echoing. Let your heart be your guide. Let yourself be loved. When you can see yourself authentically, you can see your value, you can see your worth, you can see what you can bring into the world, what your gift is, why are you here, what kind of service you're here to bring. And you can do that from a loving, compassionate, whole space. It's going to overflow. It's going to overflow so immensely that it's undeniable. Not just that, it becomes so momentous, it becomes unstoppable. Okay? So in order for us to become unstoppable, we have to unleash that love from within ourselves first and foremost. I feel like I need to pull one more card. All right, so we're going to pull one more card here. This is why we're pulling one more card for the midweek collective energy check-in. Ignite your passion. Ignite it. Let the spark, let it turn it on, let it explode, let it be seen like fireworks in the night sky. Take bold action. But first, that takes bold thinking. That takes bold looking. That takes bold understanding. And fortune favors the bold. So if you're seeking to live a life that you have not yet lived, you must take actions that you have not yet taken. And it all starts within you. Because you're capable, you're worthy of it, and it is your divine right to live and to thrive and not to just be here and play small and survive, because that's not what this is about. We are here in this time, the age of Aquarius, the age in which thousands of years from now, there are going to still be on the tongues of mouths of all the people that started to create the momentum that build a worldwide change. And it all starts with you. In this moment, choosing to take action, choosing to express yourself, choosing to push through the fear and be who you're always meant to be. I hope this message served you today. If it did, definitely share, like, and subscribe. We're going to bring George back on for a quick 1-minute final thoughts, and then we're going to wrap up this show. George, how are you feeling about this message today?
Whew, such powerful shares for everyone. And I think that what it really comes down to is the decision of how we want to live our lives.
Absolutely.
And we can really listen, as it said. We can listen to everything around us. We can listen to ourselves, and we can choose. And we can surround ourselves with the right people, with the right resources, and the right situations. So love that y'all are tuning in to this show. This is absolutely amazing. Dominique is an incredible person. If you know her in person as well, you know that she is great in person as well. As she mentioned before, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, and there is support. We are in this together, and we are creating the best world we can imagine together.
George, I love you forever. You know you have a friend in me forever. If you ever need anything, you let me know. Thank you so much for being here. Let's wrap up this show. Con mucho amor. Do you or someone you know experience something supernatural that has left a positive impact on yourself or the lives of others? Want to share your story on our show? Please Email Divine Encounters at e360tv.com. And together, let's create divine experiences. And now, the Oracle's final thoughts con mucho amor. Oh, in the 30 seconds that we have here, I just want to say, it's possible. All things are possible. Don't let anyone convince you that because you came from a certain place or come from a certain family or a certain ethnicity or gender, that you can't hold out your hands to what is for you. Your hands were born empty so that you could receive, so that you can place within them all those beautiful things. Angels and entities don't have the senses, these senses that are here for pleasure, these senses that are here for joy, these senses that are here to share. Because whatever is worth consuming is worth sharing. Whatever is worth receiving is worth giving. And the more we receive, the more we can then give in return. Go out there and encounter more. But above all else, may you all go in love, light, and wisdom to know thyself, love thyself, and remember the divine always has your back. Till Sunday, ciao.
Everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life is well most, just hold on. Just hold on.